in 3 years, we're talking about a culture change. That's insane.
It is a very bizarre situation in Miami, right? Because, all right, Christian, with that, we can move on to something very exciting. The Miami Dolphins, or as I should say, your Miami Dolphins, your team, Christian.
There it is. Oh, there.
It's somewhere back there, yeah. For those of you listening, Christian has he has a Dolphins thing that he puts on his wall. But I'm gonna set this up for you, Christian. I'm gonna make it quick, and then I'm just gonna hand it over to you. I'm gonna let you do what you do. So
I'll just
yeah. So really quick, and I think I might be a little more positive about the Dolphins. So you can be as down as you want.
Yeah,
I'll try to balance it. I'll try to balance it out, but really quick, let's talk about 2024. I know on paper everybody goes Dolphins down, Dolphins bat. Look, they went 8-9. They were missing Tua. They had terrible
averaging less than 10 points a game for quite a bit of that season.
For sure. But missing Tua a good chunk of the season. You lost defensively. Bradley Chubb did not play at all. Jalen Phillips was out for most of the season. And then on your offensive line, you also had some terrible injuries to your offensive line as well.
And terrible play.
So, with all that in mind, they still won 8 games. And I have been a big fan of what I've heard this offseason thus far. The Dolphins have really, to me, they're trying to do 2 things, right? They're trying to accountability. They're trying to prioritize culture and toughness. And, we talk about the Steelers. The Steelers, Omar Khan, their GM, coming out here going, we're prioritizing the offense. That's why we spent 5 of our 7 draft picks on defense. That's why, all of our top contracts were defensive players. The Dolphins, they said we're prioritizing toughness and trench warfare.
Yeah,
and
did.
They built on their lines. They went and did that. So I am happy with that. But Christian, resident Dolphins fan, I'm gonna turn it over to you. You give your thoughts on how you feel about the Dolphins going into this season.
Okay, I will just right off the bat. Chris Greer, I know I've been tough on you, and Mike McDaniels. I will say I wish we would have focused more on the offensive line. We did bring, I think, 3 new starters in. We drafted a rookie guard. So I do appreciate that, getting healthier back on and having like a slew of guys for that defensive line. I really love that. And, often addressing I wish we'd addressed it a little bit more, but hey, I can't knock it because, offensive line has been a position group that we have just ignored. And I don't understand why we've ended in with our quarterback who, like, if he gets hit, it's no offense, but like it's a big issue if he gets hit hard. And so I just want to give praise to that. Give credit where credit's due. But so let's take this back to 2024. Jake, you said we won 8 games, and let's take it back to that week 18 loss to the Jets. And let's talk about what our star wide receiver did at his ending press conference and said he didn't even want to be there. So, like, already, like, we're starting off 2025 with a bang. And Tyreek Hill's doing his nonsense. And then, like, side tangent about Tua. I didn't mind the comments in the preseason about, the relationship between Tua and Tyreek. I mean, you would have liked it to have been, more in-house, but I don't mind what Tua said. I think that was very real of him to say, like, hey, you went out there and after we had a disappointing season and you trashed the team and you said you didn't want to be here. So, I mean, shout out for Tua for that. Again, I would have liked him, probably should have kept it in-house, but hey, it is what it is. So, and, Tyreek was banged up and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, last season was pretty weird. The offensive struggles, not doing well with Mike McDaniel. That offense only averaged less than like 10 points a game. Tua getting injured early in that season. Achane didn't really have a breakout sophomore season. I mean, for me, I'm not expecting too much out of this season, to be honest with you. Like I
Yeah.
said, I like what they did, obviously, but I think the Patriots got better. I'm a little scared of the Jets. I think they got better. Um, and this is kind of a weird. We're in like a hybrid, like rebuild slash retool for this team, and I mean, we're gonna be probably a little bit more annoying to play. I don't think you're just gonna be able to push us over. Like I said, I do like the additions to our defensive line and our additions to offensive line. We're getting Bradley Chubb back after he missed the entire season last year. Jalen Phillips, if he can stay healthy, we should be good. We just signed, we re-signed. I mean, he was Zach Zeeler. He was our best defensive lineman last year, and we paid him for it. PFF has him 11th, had him graded as the 11th best. He was really good, but it was just him and Chop. So, Chop was had some issues in the preseason, but he's good. So, looking really looking forward to watching how this defense plays under the second year Anthony Weaver from Baltimore. I think he was like the DB or he was a position coach, but now he has the DC for Miami. So really excited to see how that unit plays. But I think all the attention's going to be on the offense, and I mean as it should. We have a lot over there spent over there on the offensive line. Tyreek Hill played Waddle. Tua just got paid. On the culture thing, I have never seen a team 3 years into, and a new regime. Well, Chris Greer's been there for a little bit, but like new head coach, in 3 years, we're talking about a culture change. Like, shouldn't that be year one?
That's a great point. Honestly, continue.
That's insane. Like, can we? I'm hearing everybody like culture. People were showing up late. Jalen Ramsey might have been. I don't know about that situation. That situation was pretty weird. But like, bro, like I like Mike McDaniel's. Like I guess like I'm not gonna hate on his style or whatever. But like once you're that like player friendly coach, you just can't switch up in year 3. And now things are like we're gonna start stepping up to these players and stuff like that, which like should have been day one. That should have been day one, year one, like getting the kinks out and all that, and having people accountable. And I guess I'll say last bit here.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't have a lot of expectations for this team. To be honest with you. I mean, as long as we play a little bit better, maybe get that 7th seed, but I don't see us going far.
It is a very bizarre situation in Miami, right? Because I feel like very rarely, again, as you said, do you ever hear like, Mike McDaniels has been here how many years now, and he's like, we gotta fix our culture. It's like that sounds like a thing that you messed up on. Then, like,
yeah,
we see teams sometimes, long-term coaches where they're like, hey, we got to retool. We got to take a step back. But like they are either just so respected or they have such tenure that like they're allowed to do it. Like if the Steelers, if the Steelers decided in-house, we're going to take a step back, we're going to retool, and we're going to rebuild our core, Mike Tomlin would be allowed to do that, right? I don't know how much cachet Mike McDaniels has to take a step back and retool this team. Like, and that's where it gets weird is it's like, okay, so you're clearly like rebuilding, like you're kind of retooling, whatever you want to call it. Like you're trying to rebuild your offensive and defensive line. Tyreek is probably coming at the door at some point. How long is Tua going to be there? Who knows? We'll see, kind of thing. Like you're clearly doing the things that a team does when they're kind of redoing their team. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, so if the Dolphins go 5-12 this year and they finish last place, is Mike McDaniels getting fired? I don't know.
I think he should.
But like that's the weird thing is it's like, so we're like, it's almost like Mike McDaniels is selling his job off to like it's like you're actively saying we're gonna go ahead and just take a season to find ourselves, and we're not gonna have the most talent. It's gonna be a tough year. We might be competitive, but like we're probably not gonna win as many games as we have in recent years. And it's like, well, that sounds like you're getting fired, dude. Like I don't know what's going on there. So that's very weird. And then, I mean, I hate to say it, but I gotta say it. Like the whole Vic Fangio thing when he goes in there and everybody hates him, and it's like,
Yeah.
man, is Vic Fangio just an asshole or are the Dolphins lazy? And then he goes to
I think it's starting to look like we were just lazy.
and he goes to Philadelphia and turns around that defense like that and goes and wins the Super Bowl, and everybody goes, oh, okay, then I guess we got our answer.
He might be a bit demanding, but like, hey, like this is what I think can work in the NFL. I'm a proven commodity. Like you brought me here to fix this defense, and if you're not buying into what I'm preaching, then yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna dip. Y'all don't like me? Sure, whatever. I'll go find a team that does.
Oh, I went and found Philadelphia, and I have a Super Bowl ring now. So